For millennia, the world believed Stonehenge was an isolated phenomenon, a solitary, unexplainable enigma carved into the windswept bedrock of Salisbury. Its crushing Sarsen monoliths have witnessed the rise and fall of empires. But the story we've been told is incomplete. Subscribe to the Island Mind, because today we are peeling back the earth to uncover the massive facts mainstream history left behind. Hidden just beyond the shadow of these legendary pillars lies a staggering truth. Not an empty wilderness, but a sprawling, highly sophisticated prehistoric matrix buried just inches beneath the soil. An impossible ancient grid dating back centuries before the first stones were ever erected, waiting to completely rewrite what we know about early human history. Mainstream archaeology dates the stone phases of Stonehenge between 3000 and 2000 BCE. For centuries, its towering frames have inspired intense confusion because the architecture demands an astronomical precision that seems impossible for its time. The inner blue stones were dragged from the Preseli Hills in Wales, a brutal 150-mile transport route across raging rivers, dense primeval forests, and steep mountain passes. Multi-ton boulders moved by a society with no wheels and no horsepower. Worse for conventional history, the entire alignment mirrors the cosmos with frame-perfect precision, tracking the exact trajectories of the summer and winter solstices. Academia once labeled it a simple, isolated temple. But despite centuries of intensive study, conventional science has hit a wall trying to explain the sheer scale of the society required to build it. Then, technology shattered the narrative. Using advanced ground-penetrating radar, scientists peered straight into the bedrock. No digging, no guesswork. Pure subsurface data scans. What they detected beneath the topsoil sent shockwaves through the historical community. Surrounding the stones sits a colossal, hidden landscape of lost monuments. This wasn't a simple gathering of nomadic tribes. This was a massive, landscape-scale layout. Just 2 miles away at Durrington walls, scans and excavations revealed a prehistoric superstructure. A massive ring of catastrophic pits stretching up to 10 meters wide and 5 meters deep, encircling an ancient settlement. These massive earthworks weren't designed for defense. Excavations have unearthed remnants of massive ritualistic feasts. Thousands of people gathering from the furthest corners of the continent, bringing livestock from hundreds of miles away to connect with something unexplainable, leading researchers to a mind-bending conclusion. This entire landscape functioned as an interconnected prehistoric ceremonial matrix, a cosmic data calendar built when humans were supposedly living primitive, isolated lives. But ask yourself, how does an ancient society working centuries before the invention of the compass map out an entire region with surgical geographic precision? If they were just simple farmers struggling to survive, where did they find the time, the resources, and the unified vision to terraform miles of British wilderness? The answer is chilling, because the cosmic programming runs far deeper than anyone ever realized. Archaeologists recently discovered the footprints of a 5,000-year-old wooden prototype of Stonehenge hidden in the nearby village of Bulford. It predates the standing stones by half a millennium. 2 colossally deep post holes that once held towering wooden pillars, placed exactly 120 meters apart, forming a perfect prehistoric gun sight alignment to track the exact same summer and winter solstices. The blueprint was already running for 500 years, long before the first stone was ever carved. And it wasn't just built to look at the stars. It was engineered to completely alter the human sensory experience. Acoustic scientists recently 3D modeled the original complete stone ring. They discovered an intentional, hyper-sophisticated soundproof chamber. If you stood outside the circle, you could hear absolutely nothing. But inside, speech and ritual drumming magnified exponentially, echoing off the Sarsens like an indoor theater. An ancient sound fortress designed to isolate the elite, completely cutting them off from the outside world. Did the ancient builders believe these stones held a terrifying, cosmic power that had to be contained inside this acoustic barrier? Or was it built to keep the sacred secrets of a ruling class completely hidden from the masses? To achieve this acoustic isolation, the builders did something never seen before on Earth. They didn't just stack the stones, they carved them using interlocking timber joints. The massive stones lock onto the vertical pillars using precise mortise and tenon joints, while the curved tops slide into one another using tongue-and-groove profiling, like a 30-ton stone Lego set, keeping the alignment locked forever, making sure the cosmic window would never warp, shift, or fail by a single millimeter. But the ultimate anomaly sits directly in the center of the monument: the massive altar stone. For decades, science assumed it came from the same Welsh mountains as the Blue Stones. New geochemical profiling just shattered that assumption. It didn't come from Wales. It didn't even come from England. It was sourced from Orcadian Basin rocks in northeast Scotland. Over 460 miles away, that's a staggering 750 kilometers. A 6-ton deadweight dragged across an entire island, navigating treacherous mountains and wild seas. Think about the sheer scale of that journey. No roads, no pack animals, no iron tools. How do you transport a 6-ton monolith across a fractured tribal landmass for nearly 500 miles without a single spark of modern machinery? The logistics alone scream that we have severely underestimated our ancestors. This requires a level of continents spanning networks that textbooks claim didn't exist. It proves this landscape wasn't just a local temple. It was the nerve center of a massive, unified Neolithic alliance. To fuel this mega-project, thousands of people traveled hundreds of miles on a synchronized pilgrimage. Isotopic testing on livestock teeth shows cattle were marched from the absolute edges of Scotland and Wales, guided down complex, heavily managed trade networks to feed the workforce. A hyper-coordinated, continent-wide effort, funneling all earthly resources toward a singular, cosmic destination. Durrington Walls was the kingdom of the living, built of transient wood. Stonehenge was the underworld gateway of the dead, forged in eternal stone, connected by a ritual highway river, mapping out life, death, and the cosmos across miles of parched earth. If you ask me, this layout reveals the dark reality of a deeply divided prehistoric society. Durrington Walls was a massive party city built of cheap, rotting timber where the common laborers lived enslaved. Meanwhile, Stonehenge was an exclusive, hyper-engineered acoustic fortress built of eternal stone. This wasn't some peaceful, collective utopia. It was a rigid class system where a prehistoric ruling elite used advanced sensory architecture to separate themselves entirely from the masses. But then, the final and most terrifying anomaly occurred. Mass DNA sequencing of Neolithic skeletons around the landscape revealed a chilling genetic event. Right after this massive, multi-generational cosmic matrix was fully completed, the entire population of Britain completely vanished. A 90% genetic replacement within just a few generations, wiped out or replaced by incoming European cultures. The master builders vanished, leaving their ultimate machine behind, erased from their own creation. This discovery changes everything. Stonehenge was never a solitary marvel. It was merely the final, visible crown jewel of a massive, interconnected prehistoric matrix. We are looking at an ancestral culture far more advanced in engineering and social organization than mainstream textbooks ever dared to admit. A society capable of organizing massive logistical feats, encoding cosmological data into the earth, and deploying deep sacred architecture. Which raises a thrilling question. Was Stonehenge the apex of their power, or was it merely a single piece of a far grander, evolving legacy? As we peel back the layers of deep time, the static monuments fade away. Our ancestors left us far more than just stones and parched dirt. They left a hidden, landscape-scale blueprint. This is not the end of the script. It is only the beginning, and as the data scans push deeper into the soil, who knows what other impossible anomalies are waiting directly beneath our feet. Subscribe to the Island Mind as we continue to uncover anomalies of our ancient world. Click here to watch the mind-bending secret of the stone giants of Rapa Nui.